Let the party begin in New Orleans. Final Four week is here, and so is the Field of 68. For the first time, we are bringing you comprehensive coverage from previewing the Final Four up until the last buzzer of this college basketball season. We are live from Gordon Biersch. This is 200 Poydras Street in New Orleans. So if you're in the NOLA area, come and see us. First round is on. Jeff Goodman, he's buying. Absolutely, exactly. We're with you here. I'm John Fanta. He's Terrence Oglesby. Goody's here. Rob Douster's here. I cannot believe that you two are sitting on the same side of a table.
Well, it was not be for long.
It was not by choice. It was not by choice.
All I know is he's at the end, so if I push, he's going down.
The only reason I'm at the end is because Goodman didn't want his frame showing up in this shot over
But
here.
we got your gullet.
Yeah, that's why.
That's
You throw me to the wolves. Real team player over here.
Oh, man, let's get it going, guys. Again,
I can't see you with this.
It's okay. Better
I'm
heard than
putting it
seen.
down.
There you go. We'll put it up in the front here.
Better heard than seen. I mean, again, who's the producer of the show? I'm not sure. We're seconds into the entire week. At what point will Dagan Hughes come in front of the camera and just do a Will Smith on Jeff Goodman?
Hey, listen, I'm already in front of the camera.
We're at 200 Poydras Street, so we're right across the street from Harrah's, which is extremely tempting for Randolph Childress.
That's right.
Who apparently cashed a $400 wager right
Don't
off the
say
get-go.
that. His wife might be watching. I mean, come on. We don't need everybody to hear. Taxes, they're going to come after him.
It's a block away from the Hilton Hotel. It's right across from Harrah's, so come visit us. All right, guys, we've got a lineup of guests all throughout the week. If you're ready for the Final Four, imagine how ready we are. We can't wait to bring you this coverage for the first time. I'll welcome in the governor here, Mr. Douster. We've been waiting for this. It's here. What's the vibe like for you, for us, and in New Orleans in general?
Well, if you want to know what the vibe's like, I just got a cup of coffee, which I really needed. I've been up since about 5 o'clock this morning. But it's actually kind of tame right now. People are kind of flowing their way in. They're kind of arriving here. But I don't think I could be any more excited for a Final Four than I am right now. And part of the reason why we haven't had one of these in like 3 years. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, the one that we had last year, Jeff, you were there. It was not great. It was nothing compared to this, but it's just part of it is we got the Coach K storyline. Part of it is we got the Duke North Carolina rivalry. Part of it is we have 4 blue bloods at the Final Four. But for me, the biggest, you always look forward to this. Like, the college basketball season builds and builds and builds and builds and builds until you get to the NCAA tournament, until you get to the Sweet 16, until you get to the Final Four. This is the reward for busting your ass all season long, and now it's here. We haven't had one of these in 3 years, guys.
Yeah, we got
3 years.
I mean, he said it.
Sean Paul was 11 last time we had a Final Four.
It feels like it. It does feel like it. But I was in Indy, and you know what? You tried to be appreciative last year of the tournament, but it wasn't the same.
By the
There
way,
was
can we just
nobody
pause
there.
real quick? Because RC, you can come over here and get your cup of coffee. They gave it to Goodman.
Yeah,
we
I don't
got
want
Randolph
the cup of
Childress
coffee.
here with us.
I don't need the cup.
Yeah.
Let's go, Randolph
There
Childers.
you go. Hey!
Yeah, we need that live studio audience.
RC, you forgot your hat.
No, but like last year was, listen, we were fortunate to have a tournament, but it wasn't the same. There was no atmosphere. There were no coaches. You know, I'm there, and the only coach I was able to talk to face-to-face was Eric Musselman through a fence at the baseball field. That was it, and I got yelled at for doing that. So here,
Wait, you got yelled at?
oh, yeah.
That can't be
So-
too common an occurrence.
Yeah, I mean, here we got, listen, we are, I don't think it's a Rob Doster throw, but it might be, I could throw a football that far to the Hilton. What do you think? What do you think? Can I hit the Hilton? The Hilton is right there, which is the coach's hotel. The casino is right there. So if you want to stop in, come by Gordon Biersch, because this is the place to be for the next 5 or 6 days. And again, I might even buy you a beer if you come through. So I don't know, Fanta. We'll see. Depends how much.
You're
know.
buying. That's happening. There's no
100%
question
buying.
about it.
Well, here's the big thing, too, is it's a celebration not only of everything that these teams have done, but everything everybody else has put into it. All the coaches are here. You guys are here. Field of 68 in year 2, nonetheless. I mean, that says a lot about you guys. It says a lot about everybody that you've put together, this production we have here at Gordon Biersch. It's a great place to be. This is And the Hefeweizen, by the way, is really good. I don't know if people know this or not. My man Doster and some of these guys,
My
they
sources,
have the Hefeweizen. They are
I'm not
very
even on
good.
camera right now. My sources can confirm it.
No, but it is an excellent place to be. The energy's right. Now, we're still leading into the weekend.
Yep.
Tomorrow's going to be when everybody starts to convene, and you're going to see a lot of faces walking around the streets of New Orleans. But what an excellent time to be a college basketball fan for Blue Bloods. Four of them in this Final Four. It's going to be an excellent weekend of games. Really excited to get going.
Live from Gordon Biersch. Join us, 200 Poydras Street. Wherever you are in New Orleans, stop on by, have some fun with us. Thanks to our partners at Gordon Biersch. We're presented by Bet Rivers as well. So let's tee it up here. Out of all the things happening this week, Jeff Goodman, when you walk into Caesars Superdome tomorrow for press conferences and to get the week rolling, what's the most intriguing thing that you're looking at for this Final Four?
I mean, it's K. It's got to be K. I mean, everything else becomes secondary now because of the storyline that is Coach K maybe in his swan song going out with a national title. Like, it's the ultimate storybook ending. And, again, there was a point in the year where we didn't think this was probably going to be possible, right? I mean, they didn't look great. I was there March 5th. I mean, honestly, coming out of that one.
Hit the buzzer. Point guard play.
Point guard play. Point guard play. That's right. That's right. But I mean, they looked awful that game, and now they've responded. This young group has responded, and just like kind of Carolina has responded from you and I killing them back in November at Mohegan Sun, calling them soft.
Nice. We were very nice.
And they
I was
could
a
hear
part of
us.
that
I'm taking credit for their turnaround.
Yeah, you
I
started
am
it.
taking the credit.
Well, but why did it take them like 2.5 months after you called them soft?
That's a good question.
I'm pretty sure, honestly, Caleb Love might have heard Rob Doster calling him soft from like 10 feet away at Mohegan Sun.
We did
Right?
the show. We did the show on the court, and they walked out as we were doing the show on the court, calling them soft, just ripping them.
Killing him.
Well, they needed it. They
Yeah,
needed
they
it. But
did.
it's
They did need
it's
it.
been the emergence of R.J. Davis, in my opinion. This Carolina team, Caleb Love's a volume guy. That's what he's going to be.
Always.
But we're going to talk about the storylines going in. I actually think, believe it or not, I think there's going to be less pressure for Duke going in to this game than there was going into Cameron for Coach K's last
Doster
game.
said too.
So-
I kind of buying into it, but I still feel like it's the Final Four. Like, the world is watching now. The world was watching then too, but this is bigger. This is.
But
here's-
everybody's dealing with the same hoopla here.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was. Hey, Jerry Seinfeld shows up to my game. I'm fired up. So like I wouldn't have been able to contain
Wouldn't have
myself.
changed your
but it's
shot
everybody.
selection.
No, it certainly wouldn't have. But at the same time, you got to think about what everybody. Like, you had every player. They're walking out through a tunnel of guys that have been at Duke 40 years ago. And all those things build up. Now everybody's dealing with the same amount of pressure.
But isn't the pressure still there to deliver K a national title in his final year?
But there was a reward for winning. The reward for there was no reward for winning in Coach K's last game. They had already clinched the regular season title. They weren't going to be a 1 seed no matter what happened. They weren't going to be a 3 seed no
get it.
matter what
I
happened.
still think there's
because they
a
didn't
ton of
deserve to be a
pressure.
2 seed. They
Yeah.
should have been a 3
Okay.
seed. They still got a 2 seed despite the loss.
Let's
So-
reverse it then. Which of these four teams walks into the building this week with the least amount of pressure on them?
I mean,
Villanova by
it's
far.
Villanova.
By
It's not even
far.
close.
Like, nobody's even expecting them to play with Kansas without Justin Moore.
Do you think they will?
Yeah,
I do.
They'll play with them. I just don't think they'll
I
be able
do.
to play with them for 40. I think they play with them for 30, and then they get worn down. And to me, I think we're going to see Eric Dixon either get into foul trouble or just absolutely wear down if he has to play 35 minutes because he hasn't done it all year.
This just has the makings of everything Jay Wright does, though. I mean, they've only played 6 guys all year long. They're I would not their most important player, but I would say their most talented player on that roster goes down with an injury, kind of rallies the troops. You have a guy like Brian Antoine who's getting older and starting to – he says he's earned this trip. He's earned this opportunity. It's going to be interesting to see who steps up for Villanova, and that's going to be a big point. It just seems like something that Jay Wright might be able to pull off.
Well, what's interesting about the matchup is that Kansas is a different team from what they were even 4 weeks ago. Bill Self said it to us last week in Chicago. Defensively, he has seen a climb. And the element here is you go into so many matchups with Villanova and you say, well, we're not going to win the point guard matchup, but hit that button again because Remy Martin's given Kansas a different edge.
He has, but you still, I mean, listen, Colin Gillespie or Remy Martin, who are you taking?
Colin
who are you
Gillespie.
trusting? Right, you're trusting Colin Gillespie over any point guard in the country. You still don't know what Remy Martin you're going to get.
I was going
Right?
to say I might trust John Fanta. I might trust Terrence Oglesby. I might trust Randolph Childress over him. I might trust Sean Paul. I don't know about Dagan Hughes.
I don't know. I saw Sean
How
Paul's
could you not
jumper
trust
before
him?
we got going here. I saw and
Silky.
It did
Silky,
go in.
come
It was
on.
silky smooth. This guy.
The point was, at least you have the potential option. DeJuan Harris is
Listen,
not going to deliver.
listen,
No,
that.
no.
Kansas-
Here's what it is about Remy.
Kansas without Remy, being Remy right now, you would say Villanova. You'd still say I'll take Villanova without Justin Moore.
The thing about Remy is Kansas already wasn't like a number 1 seed caliber team without him doing anything throughout the whole year. So anything that he provides is going to be a positive, right? Anything
gravy.
that is going is gravy. It's going to raise the level of that team. And when he is good, he is great. And when he is great, Kansas ends up being a team that can do things like get to the Final Four and win a national title.
Without Remy, are they in the Final Four?
No.
Why?
I mean,
Maybe.
look at their
Maybe.
path.
Probably.
Look at who they beat.
Yeah, I
they
mean,
beat
they did.
As
crazy.
bad as they played against Providence, they needed him to be good.
They
But
did.
you guys ask, who would you trust more between Colin Gillespie and Remy Martin? I think their roles are completely different.
They are.
I
They're
mean, it's not
completely
even
different players.
Yeah, and they're relying on Remy's spurt ability, his ability to turn a game on its head, get 10 to 12 points, where Colin Gillespie's just Mr. Solid. He's a machine. He's like
But he
the Terminator.
can't just be Mr. Solid in this
He's got to
game.
be spectacular.
That's
Yeah,
the thing.
right.
Like, you
Absolutely
got to
right.
get your A game. He can't be a guy that just sits back and runs the team. He's got to score, run the team,
Yeah.
coach the team. He's got to do everything.
He's got to coach the team. He's got to coach.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
He coaches the team.
He,
does.
look,
I
Jay
would
Wright
give him
says he
that.
coaches. Here's the one thing: Gillespie's also a little bit banged up, and
But he
was
has
against
been. He has
Houston.
been
He has been
forever.
for a while.
Yeah,
I thought you saw a little bit in the after effects of a tough Michigan team. Now you're facing Houston. He only made one shot in that game. They are going to need him to be great. The one guy that's emerged, Jermaine Samuels, did not have a particularly good regular season by the standards that he has. He's averaged 18-8 in this NCAA tournament.
Well, you know what it is? He's the mismatch guy. And my biggest concern without having Justin Moore there, it's not the shot making, it's not the scoring, it's that they can't go to that lineup where you put Jermaine Samuels at the 5 and still have 5 dudes on the floor, right? If you go back and watch that Michigan tape, what they did was they went to that smaller lineup. They basically said, look, we think that if we guard Hunter Dickinson with Jermaine Samuels and you have Hunter Dickinson guard Jermaine Samuels, we are going to win that mismatch, right? We're going to win that matchup. Jermaine went for 22. Hunter Dickinson missed 100 layups, right?
Has a lot to do with matchups, too.
And
Yeah,
oh, by
it
the way,
does.
Hunter Dickinson is a lot better than David McCormick.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they got to take advantage of that. Jermaine Samuels has to have a great game. Brandon Slater has to look for his shot. We saw it in November. He was great. Then he gets
Yeah.
hurt.
Yep.
He doesn't have his confidence. He's just not the same player.
All right, let's get back to Duke and Carolina here. We're going to take a deeper dive when we welcome Randolph Childress on set. We've got special guests as well. Who do you like in terms of the way they're playing going into this week more? Because, look, Carolina's playing their best basketball of the season. Quite obviously, Duke has looked the part, too. Where do you side on this, Terrence?
As of right now, I don't think there's any way you pick anybody but Duke. And the simple reason is their offensive weapons are absurd, especially when you talk about Paolo Banchero. You knew about him. You know what Mark Williams is going to be as a vertical spacer. You know all of those things. And then moving forward, Jeremy Roach has to be that guy for you, and he has been that guy. Anytime you play the number one defense in the country in Texas Tech and you don't miss a shot for 9.5 minutes, like – we're talking serious offensive firepower. I love Duke.
By
I love the way Carolina's
while
playing,
you were
but Duke.
talking, we just had the biggest switch of all time.
Yeah.
Like in the history of
Get him out of-
television,
get him out of there.
We just did it. And it almost
Bullpen,
went
baby.
unnoticed. It almost went unnoticed. Randolph Childress,
To the bullpen.
maybe as good a shooter as we've ever seen. For Rob Doster, maybe the worst shooter we've ever seen.
And we're talking about playing a pickup game, man.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, so-
right
That's
here,
when
I
they-
got
that's
you
when
going.
There we go.
Hey, that's when
Yeah.
they used to bring Randy Johnson out of the bullpen.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Sorry.
All right, RC, let's talk Duke Carolina. Your first thought on the matchup, outside of the storyline of it, like what are you most intrigued to see happen on the court?
I think the biggest thing for me on the court is going to be the matchup inside with Armando and Williams. I think who wins that matchup?
Could go either way.
It could go either way.
Yeah.
You know, and the last meeting, we talked about the emergence of R.J. Davis. He was the best player on the floor, you know, in Cameron. So
Right.
But Baycott was really good.
And Baycott was really good, but I thought R.J. Davis was unguardable. I thought he got where he wanted. He created for everyone else. So I expect them to be – they have the bodies to defend him better. But I think whoever wins that matchup with Armando and Mark Williams is going to be a big
It might be
so
who
long
gets
way.
in foul trouble first.
That's
Out of
what I
those
think.
two, right. And Mark Williams has a tendency to get in
Yes.
foul trouble. How about this one? Am I crazy to say, and I know you're going to laugh, who wins the Paolo-Brady Manic matchup?
I think you're – no.
Am I
no,
crazy?
No,
You're not
no,
crazy.
no.
I mean,
No.
think
Not-
about
not-
it.
not the way
It
he's been
sounds
playing.
insane,
No.
right? It sounds like, like Paolo, top 5 pick, Brady Manic. But honestly, if Brady Manic makes 5-6 threes,
Paolo Banchero, top 5 pick. Brady Manic, all Gran Canaria.
yeah, that's
Like,
right. That's right.
that's what it's going
Go
to
ahead
be.
and sum up college basketball.
Although Brady Manic could make a team.
He could. He could
He
shoot the ball.
absolutely can make a team. When you're 6'10" and you can shoot it
can
like
shoot
that,
like that.
you're absolutely going to have a chance to make a team. And my take on it is, number one, obviously, Brady Manic, whether he's making the shots or not, he's stretching the floor. You
Yes.
got to go out and guard him, which gives who?
There's Armando.
Space.
There's Armando space.
It gives them space.
But I
Those
think they're
guards.
going to put him in the ball screen, too, with R.J. Davis. They're going to force him to switch, and then now you're going to have Paulo guarding. You got to switch ball screens with him. They're not going to hedge and recover with him. So, I mean, it'll be – the question he's going to have, though, is him guarding
He can't. He can't. He
and-
can't.
and the
We
foul
know that.
and
Right.
the foul trouble that's going
Right.
to come from that.
Right.
So if he avoids the foul trouble,
He's got to get his 20 because he's going to give up 20.
he's going to give up
Maybe more.
35.
Maybe more. Well, if they go to Paulo enough, yes.
Let's
he
take-
could give up 45.
But
if
I
they
think that's
kept
one of the
going to Paulo.
adjustments that they made. They started giving him the ball, and he stopped settling for threes.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we've had that issue we talked about with Auburn. We like Jabari Smith. We think he never get the ball. Duke is saying, hey, get the ball, and running plays, get into the mid post, drive it, attack. They can't guard you. He's not settling for threes.
The one thing, as soon as you said that, I was like, man, that's a crazy. And then I started to think about it. But their stats are roughly similar throughout
crazy,
this
isn't
tournament.
it?
It's crazy to
That's
think about.
amazing.
But the difference is Banchero's getting it himself, and Brady Manic is relying on R.J. Davis. To me, R.J. Davis is the key to the whole thing for Carolina because they've decided to put the ball in his hands. As he's got the ball in his hands more, and they've turned Caleb Love kind of in a spot guy. Now, he's still getting rocks up. The dude had 20 shots the other day. What did he go, 6 for 21? I respect it. Our kind of guy.
I love him.
Hey,
I love him.
RC,
Here we go.
our kind of guy, baby.
These two
I love it.
Like,
It's a question. Keep
Hey,
shooting. You
yeah.
got to keep shooting.
I'm here with it. But you also take the ball out of his hands a little bit, so that ball's moving. He's getting into the paint. They're finding easier looks, but their stats have been relatively the same.
Let's talk about Carolina, because in the midst of everything, you watch any national show, and that's not what we're giving you here at Gordon Biersch. We're with you. We're right across the street from Harris.
Get over
We're a
here.
block away
Come on,
from
wait,
the
no.
Hilton. We're at 200
beers.
Poydras Street.
Man,
Good
are you
beers.
drinking?
I don't have a drink yet.
man, what is going on?
Oh, no, I drink by night. The sun hasn't gone down yet.
There was no
He's
sun.
like a gremlin.
All there was
and
wind.
this is Rob's beer, right, by the way. He's trying to leave me double-fisted
Listen,
like
I
it was
don't
mine.
start drinking until later tonight when the hat comes on.
What is up with this?
What are we doing here?
This
Oh,
is
my
my party hat.
Party hat.
It's my
Man,
party
a
hat.
Party hat.